Hello and welcome to our ninth video about digital stress factors and digitalized workplaces. And this factor is called unreliability. It took me a while to say it the right way. So, as I said, this is the ninth stress factor out of 12. And this is a series where we address the most common digital stress factors that research has identified so far. And reliability is very close connected to uncertainty because it addresses those situations in which sudden updates and upgrades in our computers, in the system we're using, are interrupting our workday. So for that reason, I welcome you to look at our other video related to uncertainty, because you can apply kind of the same type of advice that I have provided you there. But to give you something extra, it is also the IT department of your organization that pushes updates and upgrades on your employees. It is important as an IT department to actually consider the work time of the employees in the organization. I've once went and conducted a study in the hospital where I was told that, and I observed that employees are being pushed updates during their work time. And those were updates in their critical IT systems, those systems that they were using to look at data about cancer patients that they've seen recently, to do scannings for infections or cancer or tumors and so on and so forth. So if that system is so critical that the employees cannot conduct their work, I think that as an organization, and my advice to you is to perform those updates and upgrades outside the working hours of those employees, and maybe do not perform that update and upgrade at the same time on all the computers, because you still might need for some, let's say doctors in this case, to be able to perform some work that cannot be postponed or some work that is urgent. So consider this: how important and how central is the system that we want to update now to the job and the task that the employees have to perform. Another issue that I observed is that when you push an update and upgrade, what happens is that a lot of the customization work that the employees have done on their computer suddenly disappears. And it was the case with these employees in the nuclear medicine department at the hospital. They have spent so much time to customize their system and to have all sorts of different shortcuts. Boom, an update is coming and everything is erased. It happened to me as well. Maybe not as critical as in the hospital, but I really enjoyed it on my MacBook Pro from my university, the fact that I could click on the pad. Then one day I've updated my computer. My operating system, do not ask me what it could do now that it could not do before, and how critical that update is, because sometimes some upgrades have only something to do with background colors. They're not that important. And very important, you have to ask yourself, is this necessary? Is this worth the time? Because if I'm pushing an update that let's say it doesn't take much time, it only takes 2 minutes, and I have 1,000 employees, that's 2,000 minutes that I spend on that update for changing the background color. That's 33 hours. That costs a lot of money, right? So think about what upgrades are necessary, what updates are necessary. Of course, some of these updates, they are reinforcing our IT security. They are extremely important for the IT security, cybersecurity of the company. In that case, by all means, upgrade. But if it's not that important, then maybe it's not worth the time that you spend as a company, and for the employees is not worth the frustration that they are going to go through if that update is being pushed in a very critical moment. Imagine the irony of pushing an update that is not business critical, that has nothing to do with the IT security, and maybe is only changing a few functions that were good as they were before, but because of that update, 5 doctors or an entire nuclear medicine department an entire hospital cannot perform the work because of that update. There are many cases of situations in which we're not considering this, but since your IT department is the one pushing those updates, it's important to talk to them about the timing of these updates. But sometimes we do not have the power over these updates because it is the producers, the hardware producer, the software producer, the that is pushing them out on us. If we're a big company, we might have the negotiation power with them, and it might be worth to discuss how often we want these updates, how do we want to cluster them, how do we want to time them, and so on. Because, as I mentioned in the uncertainty video, if it happens to us once that we cannot count on the technology in front of us, the stress that we felt in that moment is going to leave a memorable impression on us. And next time we're going to use that technology in a critical moment, we are going to feel some of the stress that it caused us in the first place. Thank you for your attention. I'm Raluca Alexandra Stana. I'm your Technostress researcher and guide to thriving in a hyper-digitalized world, and I hope that with my videos and advice, I can save your company time, money, and talent. If you know someone that could use this knowledge, please share, and remember to subscribe. See you in the next video.